Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Lawana Hodges coming to you from YBC, Youth Building Conversation. I just wanted to jump on here real quick just to get some young folks on here. I have two first-time voters. I have a young lady that is following the social justice that's going on in this country, as well as the election very closely. So I just wanted to come on here and get their perspective about what's going on with them today and how they're feeling about everything that they're seeing on the news, in their neighborhoods, in their communities, even from their parents, um, just to see what's going on. So we're going to be on here real quick. We're going to hit it, get everybody opinions, and get off because I know everybody is feeling kind of anxious about today's election and what's going on. But all I can say is there's only one man in control, and that's God, and he has the last say so. So there's really no need to be anxious. Just keep doing what you're doing, being that good person, and you'll win every time. But in saying that, Sherman, can you please open us up in prayer?
Okay. Thank for today. Thank for everything done for us. Bless this meeting that we're gonna be having a good talk. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me about 30 minutes of your time. I know you're busy. I know you got school, even though you was off today, but I still know you have work to do. So thank you for just sitting down with me and just expressing how you guys are feeling. So I just want to know from the two first-time voters, how was it? How was the experience? How did you vote?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. So for me, it was just everybody who, not my entire family, but like all my aunts and my mom, my parents, everybody came over and then we sat around the table. We all bought our ballots and then we just voted there. Like we talked about each and everything together. So, especially like basically mainly for me because I was like, it was my first time, and like everybody was just explaining everything, having me read everything out loud, making sure I got it. And we just filled in our answers accordingly, and then we took pictures and stuff, and then drove down to the place to put it in the box, and that was pretty much it. But I enjoyed the experience, especially because I didn't feel like alone during the process. I felt like I was understanding everything, and everything went well together. So I enjoyed that, and I'm definitely gonna be doing it again. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. How about you, Trey?
It was in the beginning part. It was kind of nervous for me because I did not know how it was gonna be like. So once I came in, I thought be more relaxed, and my
So,
mom helped me with it too. It was more helpful for me.
so you voted in person.
Yes,
So how did it feel for them to yell, "Hey, first time voter," and they started cheering?
more relaxing, more nervous. More relaxing part of it.
Okay, okay. So with Michaela's in high school, so she's not able to vote just yet. But I know with the next election, presidential election, you will be able to vote around that time. Why is it important that the youth and the young adults seize this moment to get their voice heard?
I think it's really important because, like you said, in 4 years, like it's gonna be our time to vote. So this is like 4 years. We're the future. So we should be able to be heard and have our opinions heard and really taking into consideration how we feel. And you know, because these days we're rallying together. We know what's right and wrong, and we're doing everything we can, still as people who can't vote yet, but still, signing petitions, going to protests, doing everything we can to really get our voices heard. And I think that's really important and it's really great. And I give a lot of credit to the adults who try to give us a voice.
Yes, I like that. I like that. So, from the news and what you have been seeing in your community, what is your feeling? What is your feeling about it all?
Um,
I know that it's a very nerve-wracking time that, no matter which way this election goes, it's gonna be very big and very a lot of fighting, a lot of people being feeling better, but a lot of people also still being scared.
yeah, I think Michaela's right about that. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fighting and like disappointment and just big emotions either way. And honestly, I can't really tell where it's gonna go for right now. But wherever it does go, I feel like that's where it's gonna be. Like everyone's gonna be kind of all over the place, and that's why, like, cause I've been hearing on social media, like there's gonna be a big, just a big, like a lot of like everybody's gonna be rallying and being upset no matter where it goes. So they were telling everybody like stay inside and like don't come out the house and lock your doors for the next few days after the election. So I'm just like, oh, that's the main part that I'm nervous about, like, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like that whoever wins. So
Right. And
Yeah,
you know how, okay, go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry, Trey.
I heard about that too, about how what on both sides what gonna happen. I heard about it too. So that's more nerve wracking.
I know. But I know in this day and time, we never thought that we would see things that we're seeing for our children, for you guys to actually experience what you're seeing in the social media, in your communities, um, all streaming everywhere with the police brutality and everything else. We thought we was going forward, but it seemed like now, in a sense, we're a little bit going backwards. Um, and do you guys are you guys shocked? Because I know in history you learned about it. You learned about the slavery. You learned about slavery. You learned about the injustice, that would happen in the 1900s. And just to see us now in the 20th century, or we in the 21st century, one of those centuries, that it seemed like we're going through it again. Is that kind of heartbreaking for you guys?
yeah, it's definitely saddening and like heartbreaking, but I'm not really that surprised with like how it's all going right now because of like who's running us and like how everything's been going for the past few years. So it's not really that much of a surprise, but it's just like more disappointment.
Yeah, like what I say is like, racism never really went away. It just kind of evolved with us. Like,
Mm.
we're not seeing the same things we were seeing like years ago, but there's still a big presence of, brutality and just, people still like the KKK still existing and things like that. It's just not like abolishing it, it's just evolving with us. So people can say, oh, well, people aren't enslaved, but there's still a lot of racism in the world that people don't see because it's evolved.
That do make sense what he's trying to say. And also how it progressed, how it went before, much more now.
So, do you think that if the presidency doesn't change, you think you're going to have more of the same of what we're seeing? And if the presidency does change, do you think you will see something different?
I think it would probably be more of the same if it does stay the same, like with who's the president, because I don't know, like what would give him a reason to change if he's like still in charge, then if this is how he feels about it, I don't think he would change anything. And then if the presidency does change, I feel like there would be some type of change because it's a different person. So yeah, but I don't know if it would be that much or that dramatic. I hope it would, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that if it stays the same, I feel like it could get a lot worse because thinking about what's already happened and then having like that happen and him still being reelected might give him a sort of sense of power as he can really just do whatever he wants and nobody will care. And it's if he does get reelected, it would be a very scary time for a lot of people. So that's why we're hoping that we have a new, president because, somebody who has plans for a lot of these problems we're having in the world. And it's something that we're all just, kind of hope for.
Yeah, if he stays the same, I'll agree with what she said. It will be much worse. But we change. It'll be either or. It get worse for people, or get much better. And it's based on
Okay.
people.
So, how do you guys feel about some of the rappers that's actually supporting the president? I mean, you have a couple of them that are supporting our president. How do you feel about that?
I feel like for certain ones, it's more for just like clout, kind of, because it's like they just want everybody to see that like they're on this side and like this is how they feel about it, and like I feel like they just want to get a reaction out of some people sometimes, but then on the other hand, it might just be like I don't know. Sometimes, especially when I see like black people following him, it's like I don't really understand why they would even like what's their motive for that, because it's like really a double-edged sword. Like why are you trying to be on this side with the person who clearly isn't for you? Like they're not willing to support you or try and like be on your side, but you're still over here. That's why I'm saying like it's probably just for to get a reaction out of people, because it doesn't really make sense to me unless there's another reason why they feel like they need to follow him.
Mm.
That makes sense when she said that, because some people follow people just because of that.
What you think, Michaela?
I think a lot of people just like they said, they want like the shock factor. And I know that some of it also comes from a lot of colorism in the community. A lot of, we already deal with racism, and then they have the colorism, and then we have people who, have other beliefs other than race with him. A lot of, things like how many human rights he doesn't, he wants to take away from people. And a lot of people are just, they don't really think about how, yeah, we may be a minority, but they don't care about other minorities. And it's a sad thing. A lot of, because of like, famous people, they get a lot more, public in the world again. So it's kind of hard for them to, it's hard for me to see people like that just kind of separate themselves from their community because of fame or other things.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what can you tell the young people who says, well, I might not want to vote because I don't think it's going to change anything. My vote don't count. Me being heard doesn't count. What can you speak to them? And for you, Michaela, to speak to your group, um, you guys are not voting yet, but within 2 or 4 years, you guys are up next to be the first time voters. What can you say to them to to explain to them how important it is to be heard and to have a voice?
I've definitely
Oh,
okay. I was saying like I've definitely had to actually do that, because the new people that I've met, like being a freshman in college, like I've actually had people say that to me in like our group chats and stuff, saying like I actually don't know if I'm gonna vote because what's the point? And like they don't know if it's actually gonna count, and something bad might happen if they decide to vote. And I just never really understood that, because like what do you have to lose for trying to like get your voice out there and like get your vote to count toward what you believe in? Like I don't get why people wouldn't do that, even if it is rigged. Like if they feel like it's rigged, or like they feel like it won't count, like just try. That's what I've been telling people. But it's like I've had to say that so much, and it's like how many people are really thinking this? So like, who's actually going to be not voting, and for what reason? Like, why can't you just do what you can to get your opinion and your voice out there to try and better the society? Like, I don't get why people don't do that, but if they don't, they don't. But I've been definitely telling my friends and like the people who I know to make sure that they voted and showing them like what to do and how to go about it, just to make sure that the people that if I can help it, that the people that I know can do what they can do.
Yeah, I know that somebody who, knows that like the power of just like making content. I know a lot of people on social media talking about it can make a big impact. So thinking about your vote is even more impactful. Your vote matters, your vote counts, and it could potentially your vote could give way to a whole new, system. It could give way to a lot of, opportunities for people. So I want to say that, it may seem like your vote doesn't count, but it's very important nonetheless. And like as soon as you do it, like she said, like there's no harm in trying, even if you don't think it's gonna count. You never know.
Based on what I saw throughout about the election, vote, your vote, it does matter. Even if you think it doesn't matter, it does matter to people, to other people around the world, not around the world, in the country.
Yes, it does. It does matter. And I thank you guys for sitting down with me and just talking about it because voting is very important. If you have not got a chance to go out and vote, I don't care who you vote for. That's not my business. But please go out and be heard because that's part of your. Well, I do have a dog, y'all. I have a dog, and as you can see, Lassie is loud. But anyway, he's not Lassie. Actually, he's a little dog, just with a big mouth. But anywho, but like I was saying that, voting is very important. If you don't think that your voice um, is not going to be heard, that is not true. You just have to go out there and do your part. It does not matter if you're voting Republican or Democrat. Just go out and vote. And when you vote, don't vote scared. Vote for the best candidate that is going to work for you. So, in saying that, I thank you all. And we're going to come back after the election. I'm going to have you guys back after we know the results of the election to see, how you guys are feeling about the outcome. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch it this evening with your family, with your parents and stuff, and get a lot of information so you guys can come back and share how you feel, how you feeling about the outcome and what you seen and what you heard and the experience. So in saying that, this is Lawana Hodges, YBC, Youth Building Conversation. Have a good evening. And someone is trying to get in my house. I don't know who it is, but I'll let them in when I'm done. Have a good evening, y'all. Thank you.